Welcome to Follow That Food, the show that takes you around the world to find the beginning, middle, and end of the world's best food stories. On this edition, join us as we follow that artichoke from stalk to steam. We start off in the artichoke capital of the world, Castroville, California, where these prickly plants are picked and packed. Then we travel from a spectacular spa to a mountaintop table. Then it's a tasty trip with this esteemed green globe as we dip into New York's Monkey Bar for a quick bite. Then it's off to Europe for a fantastic artichoke fling in a palace hotel overlooking the Italian Riviera. But before we're through, we return for the real San Francisco treat. So stoke up the oven and keep your eyes peeled for paradise as we follow that artichoke. We are in Castroville, California, home of the green globe artichoke, one of the finest artichokes ever developed. But why here? Just on the other side of those sand dunes is the Pacific Ocean, and that means lots of salt in the air and in the soil, and that's what artichokes love. Combined with the year-round moderate temperatures of this coastal climate, it is artichoke heaven.
Castroville just so happens to have the ideal climate to grow artichokes. It's ultimately boring. It's not too hot and it's not too cold. Not too much rain, not too dry. Just boring.
But not if you're a green globe artichoke, and that's what we're following. The green globe is prized for its rich, nutty flavor and large heart, yielding more edible flesh than other varieties. It's also helped by Central California's temperate coastal climate. These factors combined mean the area grows the finest, and not to mention the majority, of all artichokes eaten in America.
Here in Castroville, we grow over 75% of the artichokes grown in California, and California grows 99.99% of all the artichokes grown in the United States.
The artichoke has been a staple in Mediterranean cuisine for thousands of years, and it was the Italian immigrants who settled in Monterey County on California's central coast that really began to cultivate this bulbous thistle. And it's artichoke farmers like Angelo and Guido Pezzini that continued their long-standing family tradition, begun here in America in the 1940s, when both their fathers came over as brothers from Italy and planted the first green globes here in Castroville. What is it about your artichokes that have made them legendary in the world? You are considered to grow the finest artichokes in California.
Well, I think you have to give Mother Nature the credit to get them going. And then we just try to help her along with feeding them and watering them and weeding them.
But the big artichoke concerns, what do they do that you don't?
Well, the acreage is smaller, and we probably go by each plant every day or pretty close, and we keep maybe a closer eye on them.
One day you don't do what we want them to do, we kind of get a
we
little angry with them.
We go out and talk to them, and little things like that.
No, seriously. Though.
Seriously?
Yeah.
And you know all the plants out there personally, Angelo, is that right?
Just about.
Whatever the Pezzini's family secret is, the taste of their produce goes unmatched. And they told me it all starts with the roots. There are two kinds of artichokes, those grown from roots and seeds. Now, seeds are the more popular commercial variety. They're not as reliable, but they do have a much higher output and are cheaper to plant. But if you want the best kind of artichokes, the ones with the most characteristic flavors and consistent quality, they come from roots, which take a lot longer and are a lot more needy to nurture. But the real deal is the result.
This is a stock. It will produce one centerpiece, and it's the first one to form. Then your number twos or your mediums form afterwards. Down here, the small one, your third in line that they use mostly for marinating.
Can you compare the quality of the seed artichoke to the root artichoke?
Well, I think ours are sweeter, they're more tender, and basically they have more meat on the leaves.
The first thing to look for would be thorns. The old-fashioned perennial green globe artichoke has thorns. In the winter and early spring, they're not so pronounced, but if you put your hand at the top of that artichoke and you can feel thorns. And you can be pretty sure that you've got a green globe artichoke.
So prickly petals are the calling card for the green globe, but it's the taste, not the touch, that we're after. Once they're picked about 50 yards away, they're put in that hopper which cleans them, and then this conveyor belt drops them out according to size. They're boxed, and they're on the road in 24 hours. Fresh is best.